Epp, and I'm a sophomore here at Clemson University. I'm from Montgomery, New Jersey, and I'm a transfer student from the University of New Haven. Back at the University of New Haven, I was a music industry major. Here, I am a pre-business major looking to move into the field of management. With my degree from Clemson University, I hope to one day manage a record label or do A&R work for a label. As part of my transition to Clemson University, I attended the Heterosexual Norms in a Not-So-Totally Heterosexual World new student dialogue. This dialogue really opened my eyes to the discrimination and pressures that homosexuals receive. As part of the dialogue, we did 3 separate activities. The first was to make a wheel of our characteristics. These characteristics included age, class, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and other things of that sort. Next, we chose the most important characteristics to us and put them at the middle of our wheel. Then we discussed them with a partner. I see what the activity was trying to accomplish. It tried to show that everyone is different and nothing is quote-unquote normal. Although this didn't really seem to be the case because my partner shared a lot of the same traits that I did, so I couldn't really take away a lot from this activity. The next activity was the backwards questions. We were given a sheet of paper that had a bunch of questions on it, on the paper that were kind of backwards. Some of the questions included, when was the first time you knew that you were straight? Or, how do your parents feel about your sexual orientation? These questions kind of threw me back a little. They seemed kind of backwards and seemed like they should be directed towards homosexuals. One individual in our class even asked the instructor if there was a typo on the page and that it should read homosexual instead of heterosexual. This kind of made me laugh, and now I see the purpose of the activity was to show that this is the same that homosexuals feel, when being asked these questions. They feel kind of awkward when you ask them, at what point in your life do you feel like you made the change over from heterosexual to homosexual? So I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't really think about how they felt about it, so it kind of really opened my eyes. The next activity was the suicidal statistics activity. Every person in the class was given a color card, either blue or red. The red card meant that everybody in your community, including friends, family, and coworkers, all discriminated against you because you were homosexual. The blue cards meant that everybody accepted you, no matter what sexual orientation you were. At the end of the activity, the people holding red cards were ordered to rip them up as representation that those people committed suicide because of discrimination against them. This activity, once again, was pretty eye-opening because it showed that a lot of people are impacted just by what others say, and I thought that was really kind of disturbing in a lot of ways. Overall, in the new student dialogue, everybody talked and participated very well for the most part. There were a lot of different perspectives from people all over the country, especially with the last activity, being that not everybody agreed that communities would completely discriminate against people just because they were homosexual. Others thought very differently and thought that they would be kicked out of their homes or kicked out of their communities just for having that sexual orientation. And I thought that was really interesting. There were a couple people who didn't really talk and didn't really share, and I mean, I kind of thought that was weird. We're stuck in a new student dialogue. The least you can do is give your opinion about things. But I guess some people just don't feel comfortable speaking in front of a big group of people or sharing their sexual orientation with others. It is personal. I didn't really mind that. I kind of find myself in the middle of both those groups, both in the talkative and the not sharing, not at all. I shared a couple times, and because I really thought it would benefit the group if I did, and you know, it seemed to go pretty well. I believe this part of Library 100 It really expands our horizons and is probably required so that we can cope better with others at the university, because it is a college campus. There are a lot of different people from all over the country, a lot of different norms. So, I mean, you have to be able to cope with these people. So I thought it was pretty effective. Although a 2-hour lecture, you could call it, I didn't think was really worth the time. I mean, just coming in as a transfer student, we have a lot of work to do, heavy course load, and I didn't really need another class added on to my already heavy workload. So I mean, I thought it was an effective class, but at the same time, I really could have done without it. The dialogue was interesting at some points, though, but I don't know. I just didn't really see the need. Thank you very much.